Welcome to episode 2 of the Jungle Beat podcast presented by Happy Hour Sports. I'm your host, Brett James, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Flash and Connor. We have a very special guest in the building with us here today for you guys to kind of break everything down now heading into week 1 of this year's season. We are joined by Jamal St of Channel 4 News. Jamal, thank you so much for taking the time to come here to be with us today.
Yeah, appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. So
100%.
Before we go ahead and we start diving into the Jags season, and as we're approaching week 1, I think it's time that we crack a beer. What do you say, fellas?
Yes, sir. Let's get
do
to it.
All right.
Oh,
Fellas. There we go.
The party started.
There you go.
That's a good beer.
No, that's great.
That's a good beer. This
That's
is the Teal Haze at Ink Factory over in Jags Beach.
Yep.
We're one of the first people, if not the first, to ever try this. So big shout out to them over there at Ink Factory. But Jamal, you've been covering this team since 2019, and you've seen a ton of overhaul, a ton of change organizationally from top to bottom. So far, just what you've seen so far from Tony Baselli, James Gladstone, Liam Cohen, and the entire overhaul of what this team has been like. What have your impressions been so far? Kind of the guys approaching, coming into work every single day. What have you seen that has kind of instilled a level of confidence, even in you, going into this season?
It's been different, which is good, like different in a good way. You know, they're approaching it differently, and it's very collaborative, where the past regimes have been hung up on like little stuff like hand size, arm length. Like, these are conversations that you don't have to worry about with these guys. And you can just tell, like, Tony's been around. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that, like, I think I was suggesting Tony Baselli just, like, organically for this EVP role. Tony wouldn't want to work for another team. Like, this isn't about the next job for Tony.
Right.
This is the job for Tony.
Hell yeah.
The team that he wants to and the place that he wants to call home. Like, it's personal for him. And I think with anything, man, honestly, you want guys that are passionate and that are around and that want, like, I'm not looking for to hopscotch to the next thing. Yeah. Tony's looking to build this, and he went and got guys.
It's personal here for him.
It's
definitely
it's
personal for him.
And it's different when it's personal. Like,
it is different when it's personal. Yeah.
So for Tony, like, I love what I've seen from him, and like the way he's been able to build the relationships with Liam and James have been fantastic. Both of them are young; they're bringing a different energy to it, and the same thing, like, they're looking at it maybe differently than the old school NFL did, and approaching it differently. From like James Gladstone bringing stuff in and like wanting to modernize the scouting department, bringing computers and things like that, to like organize the way they look at these players, like little stuff like that. That matters.
Yeah.
But also inside the building, they're preaching like from top to bottom, everybody is a part of this thing. It's a culture. Whether you're the guy who opens the door or you work in the cafeteria and you're one of the cooks, you are a part of this team. You're a part of this Jaguars family. It's a culture from top to bottom that everybody has to be a part of. And honestly, good organizations, good teams have that.
Yeah, right. 100%.
Do you think maybe some of that kind of rubs off from at least Liam's experience, having been with the Sean McVays of the world, coming from that kind of stature where he's a well-respected coach and he's kind of established something obviously now with LA, that maybe that's kind of translated to what we've seen in Jacksonville, that players want to buy into what Liam is preaching, because it's not just him that's saying it. It's everybody, like you said, around the organization from top to bottom that's trying to establish that kind of culture.
For Liam, man, honestly, I think it starts like his dad was a coach. Mm-hmm. He's a coach's kid. He grew up and said that.
He's been around it all his life.
That's all he knows.
Yeah.
I mean, he said the other day he thinks his dad was probably a bit of a player's coach. So he knows what it is, and I think I asked him when was the first time he realized he wanted to be a coach, and he said something like second grade.
Yeah,
like,
he was drawing plays during class.
Yeah. So like all his life, this is what he's wanted to do.
Yeah.
And, like, he enjoyed being in the SEC, but it was at this level, and like at the NFL level, it's different, and he gets to be a head coach. Like, so I don't think this opportunity is lost on him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think his influence started there,
right?
And then you get guys like Sean McVay's along the way. You get the guys like Todd Bowles that he got the chance to work with. I mean, I think there's a lot of influences for him. But I mean, the first one's probably the most important one. Dad's retired now. Like, just watching. And I'm sure if he's like any other day, he's probably telling him, like,
you need to tighten up.
All right, Dad. You know?
No, I think that's great. And I think the most impressive thing that I've kind of noticed from obviously a distance is the fact that I feel like the players, from what I've seen, feel very bought in for what
Very comfortable.
Liam has been preaching, the way that he talks to the guys, all the things that we get to see as fans behind the scenes, from everything that the Jaguars social media post to what you guys present and report on. Everything feels authentic. Everything feels genuine, and everything feels like, hey, we actually care about the individual even more than we care about the football player first. I want to know, as a man, as your family, how am I here to support you, right? Is that something that you've kind of noticed from Liam and just the way that they're establishing that with the relationships and the players?
I love that.
Yeah. I think it's a good point too, just real quick, Jamal. Like, I think what you're saying is why it's so good to have a younger generation.
Agreed.
The reason it's a younger generation is a good thing is these are younger players.
Yeah.
So if you have these old heads that have been kicking around, we love Tom Coughlin, obviously, you know what I mean? But it's the similar thing. It's like there used to be a standard where you used to, be a hard ass on all these guys, and that's just the way you did it. But now players are a little bit different. People are a little bit different this generation. Not that you have to coddle them, but that they need to know that you care before you can do any of that stuff. And you can kind of carry a big stick, but talk softly.
It's just being valued as a person. You know what I mean? And they want to just be seen a little bit more than just a football player.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? And a person is the reason why they're here. So
absolutely.
It can be that language barrier at times. Like you're saying the same thing, but it's how you deliver it.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think when Doug left, all the guys in the locker room were like, "Man, we want a younger coach." Like we're asking them, "What do you want in your next coach?"
Right.
We want a younger coach that can identify with us and stuff. And that is what Liam represents. That's what Coach Campanelli represents. And
Love Coach Camp. Love Coach Camp. Love Coach
He
Camp.
would have fit in with the Coughlin, but like, I gotta show these guys.
Dynamic.
Hey, what do you want to be? You want to be the defensive player of the year? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hold you
accountable.
Yeah.
And so guys can appreciate that. All right, you want to be good? I'll coach you to be good.
Right.
But just understand what comes with it.
Right. It's gonna take some execution.
It's gonna take some execution. It's gonna take some work.
Yeah.
You can't just show up and just practice and think that you're gonna be next JJ Watt.
Right.
You
Right.
gotta put in the extra work. Are you gonna put in the extra work? You can put in extra work.
Are you concerned at all about the inexperience? We were talking about this a little bit before the podcast. Like maybe Liam needs like an assistant head coach that's been around a little bit. But are you any concerns with having him around?
Not a
inexperience wise.
Not a ton concerned, really. I mean, I think Liam has enough experience with like coaches that are around him, and I mean, we've asked him this question because like when I was building the staff in my mind, I was thinking, all right, he's got to find a guy with some experience that he can lean on because there's going to be something that he pops up. But he feels like because he's been around it, because he has this Rolodex of coaches that he's worked with that will pick up the phone for him, that he feels pretty confident that if he has a question, there's somebody he can just call.
Sean McVay.
Which
is why it was a great guy. I was going to jump in,
I think he had said in his press conference today that I had listened to that he had texted McVay earlier about like he's just grateful for the opportunity. It was something along those lines of like, I'm ready to take on this next challenge in my life. And we all know McVay's obviously one of the best coaches.
100%.
Well-respected coaches alongside Todd Bowles as well too. But coming from that tree and that culture that McVay had established and brought LA to a championship winner, like he represents that, and I think that's what he's trying to bring that approach to with Jacksonville.
Right.
What's your takes on Trevor?
I think this is the time.
Yeah.
I think this is the best situation that he's been in his career. And I think if he can't make it work in Liam's offense, then we got some deeper questions. I think he'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine. I think this is going to probably be one of the better years of his career. But I think if it's not, then we got to start asking the question. It's quarterback friendly. If we start looking at support and cast around him, like while there are question marks around it, I mean, this is still the best. Like, nobody's going to make an argument that Brian Thomas Jr. isn't the best receiver he's played with.
Right.
And we're going into this year knowing that. You just invested in Travis Hunter, who I think generally we all think is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So, and then you throw in Brown, you throw in Brenton Strange, who people feel pretty good about, a coach that specializes in making the running offense work.
Yeah.
That's my point. Yeah.
So I think this is the best situation. You think back, like, over the years, I mean, he's played, like, Christian Kirk was fine.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think anybody ever felt like Christian Kirk was the guy.
Nah, I never felt like that.
So I think this is the best situation he's been in, and I think now the offensive line's got to do their part.
Yep.
But if it does, I think this is probably going to be the best year of his career, as long as he can stay healthy and does it, because this is the best supporting staff. I think this is the best offense.
Yeah.
Like he said during the offseason one time when we were talking to him, he said that this offense gives him the answers to everything. And he loved it. We were just like, well, why do you like this offense? Well, it's all about timing. So like the routes don't mature at the same time. So I have something, if the defense does this, I have something to get to, as opposed to like Doug's.
Yeah.
Where it was like, they said he was a one-read quarterback because a lot of the routes and stuff all like
RPOs,
matured at the same time.
Yeah.
If it wasn't there, he was like, it ain't there.
Yeah. Well, that's like the old Joe Walsh, like West Coast system was all about footwork. He was obsessed with it. And you would know by what's like hitch you're on, who to throw the ball to. So that's what kind of what he's talking about. But I agree with what you're saying about the O-line, which is kind of like, we're talking about Trevor a lot, but kind of off subject, like Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson. Right. See, what I liked about them though, is they invested up front. Now they had a lot of weapons already.
He already had weapons with him.
But they made a heavy investment where we lack and have lacked in the past, and we'll see this year, which, a lot of people are saying, hey, Trevor's got no excuses because he has all these weapons. Cool. What's he got up front? Still maybe C+ kind of line. So we'll see. I think, I'm a little bit more optimistic than I have been in the past, but it's going to be the biggest thing is the line. It's not necessarily the weapons that's going to be, the big issue for him.
Yeah, I think they brought in some. I mean, I like that Liam brought Ryan Hainsey with him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Robert Hainsey.
Robert Hainsey.
Yeah.
He clearly knows exactly who this guy is. And
100%.
felt pretty good about him. Said, hey, we need a center.
Yeah.
This is the guy.
This is the guy. Bring him with you.
Yeah.
So you like that. And then you just hope that you can get, like, we've seen the flashes from Anton Harrison.
Yeah.
We've seen the flashes, you just haven't seen the consistency. Walker Little, this is his first year going into a season as the unquestioned starting left tackle.
Yeah.
So you say, all right, well, now you had the whole time to prepare for not the ability to be a swing tackle, but just left tackle, which is where he's wanted to play his entire career. Can you get him to take another step forward? And then you bring in a guy like Patrick McCarry. I think Wyatt Milam's going to be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be good. I think him and Jonah Monheim are great investments.
Yeah. Not right now.
Not right now. I think they're great investments for the next couple of years here. But it's like we talked about. This is a boomer bust year for Trevor.
Yeah.
So this is going to have to be, what do we have for this year? And we'll get into kind of the position groups in a little bit, but
it's still going to take some time with him, though. Like, if week one he goes out there and it's not seamless, I don't think you wave the red flag, right?
Right,
I think like, if we get to the last stretch of the season, and I know we'll look at the schedule a little bit, if we get to that home stretch and you're still looking at it and you're saying,
I don't know.
Yeah, then we start to like raise the concern points.
Yeah.
You almost got to think about it like Doug's first year, where the first like stretch of the season, it was kind of rough. They were still this is the activation period for the offense. Right now it's all talk. Like now you got to go out there and do it in principle on the field with this offense. And then by the last stretch of the year, they get hot, they go on this run, and they kind of had the offense rolling. Yeah. So you kind of look at it the same way. Like, it'd be great if they go out there and seamless against Carolina, put up 50, and we're like, no problems here.
Right. Everything's good.
It might not work out that way.
Nah.
Yeah, and I think just to that point, though, when you had referenced just the fact that Trevor has answers within the offense, right? There was progressions, kind of understanding, pre-snap, what he's looking at and what he's going to try to attack. There was an article in The Athletic just a couple of weeks ago where Trevor had told one of those reporters that when Cohen was giving them all a pop quiz in the quarterback's room, that Trevor flew through that pop quiz, got 85 out of 100, and just had a command of what to expect in the offense, and Cohen was blown away.
Highest
right,
score
and that's exactly what we would want and anticipate from him. And I don't think that there is going to be that slow progression throughout the season in the offense. From everything that we've heard and seen throughout the camp, of course, it's still a new offense. Yeah. There's still going to have to be some bumps and bruises along the ways. But I think
some kinks.
Correct. But I do think that from what we've understood and the way that Cohen can kind of get him just to, hey, 1-2, go, 1-2, go, and have that command of the offense, I do think that this is going to be a much more seamless transition and a much more easier offense for Trevor just to deliver the ball.
Now, it is one thing to do it in the classroom,
right?
Sure, and do it on the field. But I will say, here's why I think the quiz thing is good, because he scored the highest on this quiz in a room with people where he could have scored less than. Because if you think about it, Nick Mullins was already in the offense for years, and that's why they brought him here.
Right.
John Wolford also was in Tampa last year and had been with the Rams before that. So these guys are supposed to know this offense like the back of their hands. And neither one of them is like a guy you're like, oh, well, he's not a smart guy. Both of them are extremely smart. And they're supposed to know this offense like the back of their hand, and Trevor was able to outscore them. That's the impressive part of it.
It is. It is. 100%.
I mean, we're talking about seamless transition to and trying to get Trevor right. How do you think Travis Hunter, both on offensive side of the ball, but also maybe on defense too, making like a short field turnovers, things like that. How do you think he's going to play into Trevor's development and just him as a player overall?
I mean, I think having a guy like Trav, you can't have too many weapons on offense for Trevor.
Yeah.
I think this franchise has not done him any favors when it talks about like putting weapons around him. I mean,
they tried though with Ridley and Kirk and Ingram, but it's not.
And it just hasn't necessarily.
People
worked.
don't always want to come to Jacksonville.
They don't, but I mean, a lot of the guys when he's been rolling, they've had like their best seasons of their career. Christian Kirk, best season of his career with Trevor.
Evan Ingram,
Zay Jones, best season of his career. Evan Ingram, best season of his career. Like Trevor has elevated guys to have their best, but he hasn't just inherited. Like his big get was Calvin Ridley, and I think Calvin was good, and up until BT was probably the best receiver that Trevor's played with. But I also don't know that Calvin is a guy we're ever going to talk about being a top 10 receiver in the league. You know, like I just don't know that
maybe
he's
top
that
20,
guy.
top 20.
He's solid.
Sure, he's a good guy.
He's good, but I don't know if you're picking is he the guy you want to be your one?
No.
All right, you
probably.
He'd be a fantastic two.
Sure.
Yeah. When he was with Julio Jones, he was a fantastic
two.
Yeah,
You take the double team, give me my 1-on-1. Line them up, I'll take them down, and we're good.
And so you think Travis is going to be able to be better than Ridley was for it?
I think it's going to be tough. I think it'll be different.
Yeah, I think it'll be different. I think when you're talking about somebody who plays both ways, right? You got to kind of account for the wear and tear as well. I can't sit here and say like, oh, he's going to be better than Ridley when Ridley's only playing one side of the ball and he has more. You know what I mean? Because I think that Travis Hunter is in a category of his own at this point. You know, I don't think that there's anybody that's really comparable to him.
But he's got a higher expectation too, which isn't fair necessarily to him. And I'm not saying he's going to be better than Calvin Ridley right away. I mean, that's right. It's really not a non-topic. But like Jamal, where do you see him kind of coming into the offense? Like, do you have any idea, like as far as like prediction wise, like maybe not statistically speaking, but how do you think he'll play on offense at least? I
think he'll play a lot of receiver. I think they're going to let him be him. And he's an explosive athlete, get him short passes and let him go and work after the ball. And then, I think you're going to get in the red zone and you're going to see them let him go and show off those ball skills where he's able to go up and get it over guys. I mean, they've seen that in training camp against their DBs, and now you want to go show it off against somebody else. So I think he's going to have an opportunity. Like if at the end of the year you said Travis Hunter has 800 yards receiving, I wouldn't blink an eye. Yeah, right. I think that would be a solid rookie season. I think that's a solid expectation for him.
I wonder how many picks he's going to get.
See, now that's a question to ask.
I wonder how many picks he's going to get.
We talked about a lot, not to rehash the last episode, but we talked a lot about playing time. Yeah. Liam Cohen himself said it's 80-80. So 80% on offense, 80% on defense is the percentage that he wants to do. Yeah. So
is that reasonable? Like,
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Man, is like these aren't college kids who have like school the next day. These are like grown men. Like, you know what I mean?
Kind of 10 a.m. Because we're kind of getting on it.
Please.
The offense, though. I think we talked about Trevor. We kind of talked about the quarterback room a little bit. I think one thing that we kind of mentioned in the last podcast, really didn't get fully into, and that we briefly talked about beforehand, was that backfield. Right? I mean, you've got 4 very good running backs, all kind of different skill sets, but in a offense that is going to be centered around the skill sets of them and utilizing them in different ways. Yep. What do we expect really to this backfield look like? Like, I don't know. Like, what have you seen from camp? What have you seen from the way that these guys are going out there and performing? And, who do you think kind of ends up being that running back one if there is a guy?
I think it's tough to answer the question. So I think if you watch Tampa last year, I keep going back to, I think Tank Bigsby's your Bucky Irving. and I think that Travis Etienne ends up in your Rachaad White role. Both of them were very active. Both of them were used in kind of different ways. Rachaad White, they'd put him in the slot, line him up out wide, put him in motion, give you a little jet sweep action or move back into the backfield, while Bucky didn't give you as much of that movement and was playing a little bit more of like a traditional
between the tackles type.
Yeah.
Which is ironic a little bit because, I mean, they're both super athletic, but you would think Bucky being a smaller player, he'd be more of the receiver type, jet sweep guy, and Rachaad would be kind of like the bell cow.
Did Rachaad have better hands than him?
Yeah, Rachaad has better hands, and they were complaining. A lot of the Tampa folks complained that Rachaad didn't have the vision because they kind of tried to make him the bell cow and then kind of moved on.
Yeah,
so I think they kind of felt like Rachaad didn't have the vision, but he had good hands and was a pass blocker. So I think he played a little bit of that role, and I think that worked. So I think that's so. If you tell me who has more rushing yards at the end of one game, I'd probably say Tank Bigsby.
Yep.
If you ask me who has more all-purpose yards, I'd probably say Travis Etienne because I think if Tank has 10 carries, I think Travis could end up with 7 carries, but 4 or 5 catches to go along with it.
I think the RB1 conversation is a little bit overplayed.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's a lot. There's a handful of positions on this team that we'll go over that there's so much depth that they're going to use these guys. It's not going to be traditional like, hey, you're the running back one, you're getting 30 carries. They're going to spread it out and make these guys, last throughout the year.
Man, I think it's just and hot take if it's a hot take, but this is an ETN bounce back year for me.
Yeah.
Like, I think that ETN comes back off after they kind of gave up on him last year. You know what I mean? I think that this year he comes back and really solidifies himself on this team. I think he plays well. I think I'm not going to predict any stats, but I think he makes such an impact this year that it's undeniable that he belongs on this team.
So
Contract.
you kind of mentioned that before the podcast, so that you think this is going to be ATM bounce back year. If you think that, and I won't put words in your mouth, what do you think that the chances would be that Gladstone and the organization would be willing to re-sign him after having Tank and now Allen and then Bayshaw
too,
right? Guys on rookie contracts where obviously the NFL doesn't truly value running backs. Even if ETN does have the year that they want and maybe even exceeds expectations a little bit, do you think that there's maybe a willingness to re-sign him?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. You think?
No.
I don't think so either. I think he gets traded at the deadline.
I don't know that you. I don't think
this year?
No, I think
said
he's
at the
gonna.
deadline?
I think he gets traded at the deadline.
He'll be playing too good to get traded. They'll play it through.
I think
he'll be here this year. I think he'll probably have a new home next year, barring the running back market's wonky. Guys get paid, guys don't get paid. So I mean, maybe he's going to test free agency is my expectation.
He's going to get a contract somewhere.
I mean,
he's good enough to get a contract somewhere.
But you never know. Like some of these running backs, they get out on the market and realize that the grass ain't always greener, and then they end up settling for a lower market deal. It would have to be very team friendly for me to expect that Travis Etienne's back in Jacksonville, just because you've already drafted Tootin and you already drafted Allen.
I don't think they'll give him enough money for it to make sense. But do you think, to your point, what you're saying, kind of like what Godwin did in Tampa, taking a team-friendly deal, I think New England was going to pay him like $10 million more per year to get there. Do you think, if it's up to ETN, now I don't think that's going to be the case, but if it is, do you think he would, because he's playing with Trevor still, he likes the system, he might have had a bounce-back year, do you think he'd be more willing to take that?
Like a pay cut? Yeah,
I think
100%.
So.
I think so too.
I would think so.
I would think so.
I don't think the franchise.
You don't think the front office would be?
I think they're going to be ready to try and show off what Tootin can be.
Sure.
Like I talked to Travis during the offseason and he said that this was the most that he's lined up outside of the backfield in his life.
Good.
So this is going to be very different. I think it's going to let him showcase what he can be, and that's why I think it's anybody that's asking me like Jaguars questions for fantasy football, I'm like, just take the flyer on ETN. If it works, you're going to be really happy. If it doesn't, then you know what, you'll be happier because
screwed last year, so I'm not
fantasy.
No,
Yeah, same.
take the flyer because think about it this way: even if they trade him, somebody's trading for him to play.
No, seriously,
absolutely.
So
through though.
Yeah.
So we're talking about LaQuint Allen and Tootin. And I'm very thankful for Jamal to be here today.
Yes.
We're on the same page.
He's the one person that I found throughout Twitter and in the studio that is LaQuint Allen over Bayshaw Tootin.
Yeah, you guys are alone on that.
So talk. Yeah, help me out.
Yeah,
help me
Look,
out.
I'm with you. Look, it's not that I don't think Tootin's going to be a good running back. I think eventually he is, but I think for what this team is right now, I think LaQuint Allen is going to have a role. He pass blocks. He's the best pass blocking back on the roster, and he can catch passes. Those are things that keep you in the NFL for like 10 years.
Exactly.
Like that is a skill that's going to keep him around. And if you think back to like the Jaguars backfield last year, it wasn't that they just wanted to get Dearness Johnson on the field and hurry up offense. It was that they could trust that Dearness Johnson would catch the ball if it was thrown to him.
Yep.
And he could pass block if they needed him to.
Yeah.
And that immediately is what LaQuint Allen gives you. He's a little feisty guy too now. He'll fight now.
Yeah.
If they won't get to it.
I saw your reports on him on Twitter.
Man, look.
I saw your reports on that.
So, look, I think he's going to play. I think the easiest guy to end up with a red shirt year is Tootin, because if you're going to slide Tootin in, Tootin more than likely is your Tank Bigsby of sorts.
Right.
So as long as Tank is playing fine or isn't moved, I think Tootin's going to be sitting there watching as long as there's not injuries, as opposed to where I think LaQuint Allen is up because he does contribute on special teams and he does play a role on the offense that is different from the other guys.
Got you. So are we saying at the deadline, if I'm going by BJ's,
I just think
let's just say that if we're looking at it to start next season, right? Are we looking at Tank, Bashal Tootin, and LaQuint Allen?
Yeah.
100%.
Really?
110%.
It's not because of talent. It's money.
Oh, okay.
I just don't think. I just don't think the way that the NFL is going is that they don't value running backs unless you're in the top 1 percentile of the Saquons, the Bijans, the Christian McCaffreys of the world, right? Jameer Gibbs.
See, if we're talking about the business, then I can understand the business.
It has nothing to do with it. I love Travis as a player. I think he is going to have a bounce back year. I think that relationship, that chemistry, that continuity that he has
between him and Trevor. Yep.
I think that goes a long way. And I think honestly Trevor loves playing with Travis, but I also understand the way that the market value is for running backs, and he's not a Jameer Gibbs. He's not a Bijan Robinson, etc.
And
by that metric, that makes sense.
He's not going to get re-signed.
He has to have the most unbelievably outlandishly productive
He has to be
year
a top 10 back.
He has to be a top 5 back for that to happen this year. Like he has to be having so much of the volume that
which isn't gonna happen.
that Liam can't keep him off the field essentially, right? Yeah. Like he has to be catching passes out of the backfield, lining up in the slot, coming over on jet sweeps, like doing it all and significantly outplaying Tootin, Tank, and Allen.
So talking about volume, let's talk a little bit about the tight end group. So there's a huge hole, I'm a big Evan Ingram fan. So there's a huge hole, I think, for rapport-wise with Trevor, because there's all brand new pieces that are great. I mean, he had a little bit of time with BT, but the go-to guy on this team for receptions on third down and red zone, where we've struggled for years, it's got to be Brenton Strange.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Brenton Strange. What's your opinion on
Look,
Strange?
I think Evan was that guy. I mean, he was Trevor's security blanket. I mean, you can say a tight end's a quarterback's best friend, and Evan Ingram was that. He was racking up the yards.
Yeah.
I don't think Strange is going to be Evan Ingram. But I don't think Evan Ingram could do some of the things that Brenton Strange can do.
Exactly. He doesn't run block like
he doesn't. And that's what
Strange.
I think people were shocked because I said it at one point, and then they got rid of Christian Kirk, and then they went back and got rid of Evan Ingram because I think I'd said on radio or something that I thought Evan Ingram was going to end up being gone. And people were like, "Why? He doesn't fit what Liam Cohen wants to do."
But do you think they could have kept him though? Like, here's my thing.
I don't think so.
Leadership wise, they're talking about intangibly rich.
Yeah,
he was the first guy in, first guy out.
He was.
He's the security blanket.
Yep.
There's so many positive things, and I'm gonna beat the Evan Ingram drum until we play Denver, and I might get a Denver. No, I'm not just kidding. But
he comes in with an Evan Ingram
jersey. He switched up on
December 21st. We will be there.
Yeah,
right.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like, do you think he could have been still like the move tight end? Because we're talking about Trevor needs all these weapons, and we want him to succeed. So we're gonna give him all the resources. I feel like that's a resource that they could have kept.
Well, the reason you don't is because the way Liam sees the tight end and the way he wants to run this offense. So he wants the run to look like the pass.
Yeah.
And with Evan and those move tight ends, it doesn't look the same.
But isn't he more of a receiver at that position?
He is more of a receiver at that position, but he's not as impactful in the running game.
Yeah.
So he wants everything to look exactly the same.
Yeah.
So like Brenton, they're gonna pull him and let him wham on a defensive end to open up a hole, and you don't want Evan to do that. Like that's just not that's not who he is, and definitely not playing him to his strengths.
Yeah.
So if you're lining him up in the slot, then that's not necessarily where you're gonna give yourself numbers in the running game.
And to be honest, like I don't know if this is a hot take, but like the only thing that we're missing with Brenton Strange in comparison to Evan Ingram is speed. To be honest with you, he's just not as fast, in my opinion.
It's very debatable. I think Evan Ingram is a good after the ball, after the catch.
Yeah, but he was their best guy.
Good guy.
Do yourself a favor. Go back and watch Brenton Strange last year.
Yeah.
No, Brenton's.
I'm playing.
No, but do yourself a favor. Brenton Strange can move after the ball. I mean, after the catch.
Yeah.
So I think it's not that big of a gap in what you're saying, what he brings you in the run game.
he's not
it
that
makes
big of a
sense to
gap.
be
He's
tight
not that
end
big of a
one.
gap to me.
I just got a sweet
Sure,
spot.
and I think we were.
Rapport.
Yeah.
He has that rapport with Trevor. And I
Lee
love
Cohen
this.
said it today.
Yeah.
He said it today that like Trevor can trust that Brenton's going to be exactly where he's supposed to be. So I think the rapport is there.
Yeah.
I think we still have some of the like when they drafted Brenton Strange, everybody was like, "Who? Who's this guy?"
We took him over Tucker Kraft at the moment at the time, and that's why we were like, if we're gonna take tight end, take Kraft.
But they took Brenton Strange. We're like, "Who is this?" And this guy from Penn State. How many receiving yards did he have? What are we doing? Like everybody reacted that way. National media, local media, everybody.
Yeah, 100%.
And it was like another Trent Baalke pick. We're like, this dude.
Yeah.
But he's athletically there. He is big. He's good in the run game.
Physical.
When he's gotten the chance, like last year when Evan was banged up, he showed up.
He balled out.
I went to the Jets game. Him and BT, it was
They
strange.
balled out.
BT, strange. BT, and I was like, they're
Mac
playing
was
well
willing
this
and
year.
dealing. I can't lie. Mac was willing and dealing.
Shout out to Mac Jones.
But we're not gonna
Shout out to Mac Jones.
we're not gonna stay too focused on the hometown kid. We're gonna kind of flip it over defensively speaking. Won't be too long-winded with this, but Anthony Campanelli obviously coming in first year DC. What have your impressions? I know you briefly mentioned on him earlier, but what have your impressions been so far just about his personality and just kind of his approach to the way that he goes about the guys in the locker room?
Man, Camp is exactly what you want a defensive coordinator to be.
Love it.
I talked to Rashawn Gary at the Pro Bowl right after they hired Camp, and he was like, man, Camp's intense. He said, but he's the kind of coach that if you tell him you want to be great, he's going to hold you to that. He's your accountability buddy. Oh, you want to be great? Okay, well, you're going to have to be here at 7 a.m. to be great. And he said he's the coach that's texting you at 6:50, like, where you at? And that's exactly what you want. And the guys talk about, like, I think I've asked every defensive guy I've talked to, like, what's it like for Campanelli? And some of it, like Dennis Garadek starts flexing up. He's like, man, he got me wanting to run through a brick wall on a Friday night. And I'm like, oh, okay, we like that.
I love that. Yeah.
He has all these different like motivational techniques. Like I think Smoot told me that right before when he talked to him, he said that morning he had just shown them a video of a jaguar attacking a crocodile. And he said it didn't even eat it. It just attracted because it wanted all the smoke. And he was like, that's exactly how I want y'all to be on defense. So he finds these random like just intense like motivational stuff.
I love that, man.
And the guys love it. So
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
I think Camp could be. I mean, think about our defense last year. I mean, we're one of the worst defenses in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, it was easily.
Yeah.
And
Nielsen was a miss.
Nielsen was a miss.
I think every defensive coordinator when they come in, Nielsen for an example, came in, we're going to be an attack and defense. Every defense coordinator is going to say this. We're going to be attack and defense. We're going to play physical. I believe Camp when he says it.
Oh yeah.
It's the energy behind it.
There's the energy behind it.
It's the energy.
After preseason week 1, it's preseason, but we're a little nervous. But the Saints game, even though it was behind backups, against backups, you could see, okay, he's going to open up the playbook.
Right.
He's got people going down.
Winger got a sack in that game, and I was like, wait a second.
He's pulling defensive linemen
crazy.
back and in coverage too, which maybe we'll see if that works. But I think he
Question mark, yeah.
Yeah.
Question mark.
It's a
I
bit
don't want to see
questionable.
Trayvon or Josh Hines.
And in coverage, I don't want to see them in coverage either. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, let's stay on defense for a minute. So let's talk about the secondary. 32nd and ranked, secondary in the league last year.
Yeah.
Safety is a huge hole, I think, still. Even
in my
though we
opinion.
have brought in a couple guys. I mean, Eric Murray, you got Dewey, which I love, but I think top end talent.
Sure.
I think responsibility wise and getting guys together and being in the right spot, I think they're fine.
Yeah.
they're lacking playmakers.
Sure.
Dewey can tackle very well, in my opinion.
I can jump routes pretty well.
Yeah.
I think instinctually, but like it's still
in coverage,
But
I'm
we
not
all
so
back there.
Yeah.
So would you say, is there any like there's still a lot of unsigned free agents, or maybe there's a guy that you'd like to get in trade? Is there anybody out on the market, or anybody that you think they'll even bring in? Or is this kind of it?
I think you're gonna rock with these guys.
Because Ransaw's out now.
Yeah, Ransaw's out for the year, which I do think is a big loss.
Huge loss.
But I'll tell you, they love Eric Murray. Love Eric Murray. I love what he brings to the
I was not
table.
expecting.
Interesting.
No.
I didn't expect that.
From D'Amico Ryan's defensive mindset in that secondary, which we'll get into in a little bit. But like
I mean, safety is like running back. It's the running back position of the defense where it's been devalued around the league.
Sure.
Where guys aren't wanting to, like, you can go and get these guys where, just like you're saying, oh, there's good safeties out there on the street. The NFL, for whatever reason, has decided that safety's not as important as it once was.
Yeah.
Unless you have that chess piece guy.
Yeah.
That can move all over a defense like what maybe Ransaw can be one day.
And who this is a hot take for maybe some people in this room because they're sensitive, but I'm talent over emotions.
Okay.
Jalen Ramsey, I was banging that drum. Bring back Jalen Ramsey.
I wasn't really
safety
Sure.
for this team.
Has he ever played safety?
In the league,
even
not
if-
full time.
But even if he was going to be let's just say decent safety at this point in his career,
we
don't need that reunion. Not with the way that things transpired at the end. I don't think that this team needs it. I don't think that the fans need it. I think we're trying to move in a different direction.
Yeah.
Leave the
Agreed.
past in the past. It's the same issue with Minshew. Like, is Minshew a good backup quarterback in the NFL?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you're worried.
It's a
Backup.
distraction.
But it's the emotions, the distraction. It's like, hey, we're moving in a different direction. We're trying to leave the past in the past.
Who's he distracting? Eric Murray? You're
I think he distracts the locker
Jalen
room.
Ra-
He would distract the locker
Who's
room.
better, Dewey or Jalen Ramsey?
Jalen Ramsey is obviously more intangibly rich than than Eric Murray or an Andrew Winger. He gets at this point in his career. He has
Well,
more-
I don't know about intangibly rich.
maybe not. Okay, maybe personality wise,
His richness is more tangible than anything else because we see it on the field. But I think Dewey in the locker room makes him intangibly rich.
I think he gets a bad rap. Side note, we'll talk about it maybe.
Okay.
Look,
But I'll expose myself very quickly, and I'll do it on the pod. I don't care. That's fine.
Okay.
Jalen Ramsey. I
don't
told
get us banned.
2019. I graduated high school. I'm 24 years old, so I'm
Okay.
Jalen Ramsey in my high school years when he was drafted in 2016. Obviously balled out.
Yeah.
Was like head over heels. Like, I was like, this guy is going to be our cornerstone piece, face of the franchise, like all-time great cornerback.
Pay him.
Love this guy. When he requested that trade, I remember that night I went home. I got back home from work. Mind you, I'm like 18 years old. Like, I'm a kid, basically. I bawled my eyes out. My mom's like, why are you crying over a football player? I threw my backpack on the ground. I was like, you don't understand. You don't get it. And I was like bawling my eyes out harder than I cried when the Jags lost in the AFC Championship game just 2 years prior.
Bro.
I was so emotional, hell bent over Jalen Ramsey because that what was to me what felt like the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Doug Marrone. It wasn't just Saxonville. It was like that was the beginning of the end. And I was at that Tennessee game too. I think it was his last game in Jacksonville, week 3. I think it was Thursday Night Football. It's been 5-6 years.
Yeah.
That was I have an emotional disconnect to Jalen Ramsey. I still have his jersey. Don't wear it, but I still have it.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, I just think we need to leave the past in the past.
Fine.
Leave it in the past.
That sounded way more personal than
It was very personal. It was very personal.
way more personal.
Jaguar fans.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hard.
I have an emotional connection to some guys.
That's fair.
Thinking
No.
about, hey, this guy's got 10 times more talent
No.
than anybody in the
Leave
secondary.
him. No.
But let's talk about let's stay on the secondary, but
Okay.
off of Jalen Ramsey.
Off of Jalen.
Off of Jalen. So we obviously we got Tyson Campbell.
Yep.
We brought in Travis. Jordan Lewis, we love,
Love him.
even though he
Love
blocked me and then unblocked me recently.
Sure.
Yeah. Shout out to Jordan Lewis.
Shout out to Jordan Lewis.
Love Jordan Lewis.
And Jaron Jones. We love
Yeah,
Jaron Jones.
love Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
100%.
I think the at least the corner position is going to shake out with Travis. I think he should start personally,
I think he'll play.
but how do you think it's gonna shake?
I mean, I think he's
Playing
going to end
time.
up playing a lot.
Okay.
I think your rotation guys are him and Jarian.
Yeah.
So Jarian and Travis, I think, are gonna flip it and flop it a little bit.
Yep.
And some of it might be situational, but I think you can almost entrench in Tyson and Jordan Lewis.
I guess my question is, are we having Tyson travel with the number one receiver, or is how are we?
It's matchup.
I don't.
Is it going to be matchup?
Like we'll talk about
like
Panthers
T-Mac.
later,
Like, are we?
But it'll be matchup based. I
Got
think.
you.
But
Okay.
They're gonna play a lot of zone. I think.
Yeah, they're gonna mix it. They're gonna mix it up a lot. So the last year's system was like so straightforward.
It was
like either
very one dimensional.
Man, Ronald Darby, you got this.
That's it. Yeah, you'll be fine. You're on an island. Don't worry.
You're gonna do great.
So this one has a little bit more variation. So they'll play some man. They're gonna play some zone.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jarian Jones said, this was like the first time in his life he's been asked to play zone coverage, and he's like loving it because he said, at Florida State they basically played all man.
Yeah.
And in high school he basically played all man.
Right.
So now he's like, yeah, I got my eyes on the quarterback. It's different. I think they're gonna play a lot of zone. They'll mix it up, and I think Campanelli's gonna do a good job of that. And I think, man, he's got a deep bag of blitzes.
I was going to say, I would love to see some of these zone blitzes. I cannot wait.
Yeah,
he's got
I think it's gonna be kind of like the old school, like kind of the Rex Ryan. Like he's gonna throw the kitchen sink at you. Which he's gonna disguise a lot of things.
Somebody's gonna get killed.
Flash,
That's right.
Flash mentioned something last week that I want to kind of pick up with.
Sure.
Tyson Campbell. How do you feel about Tyson Campbell? Now he's got a hamstring for the last 5 years he's nursing. But how do you feel? Like, even if he is healthy, how do you feel about Tyson Campbell?
Look, when Tyson's when Tyson's there,
Yeah.
I think he's there.
Yeah.
For whatever, I don't know what had that rookie year. He couldn't read the ball in the air. He missed a couple of games and then came back and was on it, locked in. And so when he's healthy, he's there.
Looks good in camp.
And he's looked great. I mean, he's done the matchups. He was given BTJ everything he could handle. I mean, I think Tyson, if he can get the hamstring, and the hamstring epidemic last year was through the whole DB room. All those dudes were pulling hamstrings.
Well, they're running after guy. They're hauling ass after the guy that beat them.
Right. They were trying to play catch up.
Man, trying to catch up.
And then I think he rushed back a little bit last year.
Yeah.
So then he was trying to get back. So then he goes out there and re-injures it because he rushed back. I think if Tyson's healthy, he's going to be fine. I think he's good.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think what's going to help them is the pass rush.
Yes.
100%. 100%.
Where do you think the Jags? I think depth wise is a huge we talked about the third edge rusher for years on how we lacked him. We don't have a third edge rusher. We have a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh. We have so much depth at that position. Plus, we have two studs. So that's my opinion. But what do you think the edge in this? Where does it rank in the top? NFL. Where do you think?
I think it's pretty good. Look, I think a lot of people sleep on Trayvon.
Me too.
I mean, I
Agreed.
understand the conversation. It was like,
Aiden.
Aiden Hutchinson. Look, Trayvon Walker has done back-to-back 10-sack seasons.
Yep.
His first year in the NFL, it wasn't crazy great. I mean, I think he had 3.5 sacks off rip.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I don't think anybody expected him to walk in and set the world on fire as a sack artist. But he walked in and was a great run defender.
Yep.
Agreed.
And then he adds the sacks and gets to 10, and people are like, those weren't 10 good sacks.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's like-
so what do I go back and do? I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
Like, what's a good sack at this point?
At this point, people are just talking at this point.
Yeah.
I think the run defense is the biggest thing that people sleep on. It's that's half of the defense, guys.
Setting that edge.
Is setting the edge, and he's, in my opinion, I think he's one of the best in the league.
When they beat the Titans that year to get into the
Yeah.
playoffs,
he
he wrecked the game.
Yes.
That was No.
It was here.
Are you talking about week 18? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Play in
I was like, 'cause he had a big game too in Nashville though. But week 18 when we all went crazy. Man,
Yeah.
Josh Allen at the
That was the day
time.
before my birthday.
Shout out
It was crazy.
Rayshawn.
It was really. There you go.
Shout out Rayshawn.
Rayshawn Jenkins. Yeah.
Shout out Arden.
Shout out to all the flags. It was always the Jags flag.
Come on now.
Week 18, it was great.
Yeah, shout out to
Great
Arden Key.
atmosphere.
So, but now you got Smoot. Now you got Agba.
Man.
Gardeck. I love the Gardeck pickup for special teams and for the edge.
Somebody said he was Arizona's Dewey, and I was like, okay, I'm on board.
I'm on board with that.
They've been hyping him up a lot.
Yeah,
and
I'm on
I
board with
like that.
I saw when they released the depth chart that he's a starter, and
Yep.
it's not a question mark starter. It's not a
No, it's not or.
Yeah.
It was there.
It's
Yeah.
he's starting, and so I love that.
I like that too.
So and Josh Allen, Hines Allen, during one of the mic'd up things I saw too. He was just so excited when he was talking to him about how on third down, how they're gonna have these, they're gonna kick like Trayvon inside, and they're gonna do so many things, and they've got waves of guys now. They're not just doing it to do it, because last year with Nielsen, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna keep everybody fresh and throw different bodies in.
We're gonna put Eric on the edge. Yeah, like, yeah.
We're gonna do that. Great, that's awesome. Guess what? You don't have the players to do it. Now they have the players to do it. It's gonna be completely different.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Armstead. So let's talk about the interior defense too. So
His face.
Eric's got
Said everything.
Wait, hold on a second. Eric's got a lot of heat going into the season, because they were saying, first off, Liam Cohen said we're going to give him the veteran treatment and let him rest.
What does that mean?
Well, hold on.
No, I think
they're going to let him
Okay.
basically walk through camp, get ready, stay healthy.
Yeah.
And everybody, for whatever reason on Twitter especially, burned him at the stake. They're like, yo, this guy's not the Walter Payton Man of the Year, is not a good character guy. Media, fans, everybody was trashing on. What's your take on that?
I mean, Doug did the same thing last year, and honestly, like, we were asking Doug, and I think the answer that sticks out to me is we were asking Doug when Eric was going to get on the field, and he said, you guys might feel like you need to see him, but I don't need to see him.
Right.
I know what we're going to get. And
But he was playing out of position.
And he was playing out of
understand
position
that, and
last
that's why I
He's
understand
not
that.
a-
He's not an outside guy. He's an inside guy. Yeah, three technique. I get it.
Armstead
Like,
believer. I'm probably one of his biggest fans in the room.
I'm right there with. Think back to the Dolphins game week 1, which I think last season unfurled in week 1 with the ETN
fumble. Yeah,
But Armstead gets a sack in week 1. He wasn't playing in when he got the sack. He was playing inside. He gets a sack in week 1 against Tua from defensive tackle.
Right.
And then they started pushing more. Oh, we got to rotate these guys, and he's an edge, and it never worked. He never looked comfortable.
And Devin Lloyd is a Mike linebacker, not Foye. Foye is the guy that doesn't need to call get everybody organized. It's Devin who's out of position most of the time when he's playing outside.
Man, look, I think they were trying to do something, and I don't know what they were trying to do at the same time. It's like some of the stuff Nielsen.
maybe we just wouldn't understand. Maybe we just wouldn't understand.
Maybe we're not smart enough.
Yeah,
We're not smart enough to understand, so I'm not even going to go ahead and try to break that down. I'm not even going to try to break that down for y'all. I don't think y'all understand.
Well,
No.
I was just talking about the linebackers. So I think we got a great group.
Absolutely.
Devin, I think, is going to have a nice bounce back year. I think he's, if you look at, whatever.
Would it be a bounce back year though? He played pretty good
solid last year. Solid.
last year.
But it could be better.
He's great in the run game. In my opinion, it's how you use Devin Lloyd, and they haven't used him correctly. And I think this season will be the first year they actually use him, where they put him on the edge and off ball. They need to blitz him. He had a couple picks like early in his career, but honestly, he's not great in coverage. So they need, on third down or whatever, they need to blitz him a lot this year. And I think Camp's going to do that.
Sign me up for Ventrell Miller as my guy. I'm watching.
Yes.
I think Ventrell.
I'm Ventrell. I'm
Same.
Ventrell.
Love Ventrell. I also love Abdullah, but you know what I mean? That's,
Yeah.
Yasir Abdullah's my guy too.
He got more minutes, but then Trell, well, in some spots, but yeah, I'm a big Ventrell believer too. I think Ventrell, Gardeck, Foye, Devin. I think we got a lot of good guys. But do you don't care for Lloyd?
I think Devin's solid. I think when it's going to boil down to is I think Ventrell is. I think he's going to play more.
Yeah.
I think I understand that this is Devin's kind of like opportunity. He's in a
He has to prove it
spot.
this year.
He's got to prove it.
Yeah.
Foyer's your guy. There's no question you need Foye on the field. He is the brain. He's the heart of the defense.
He's the glue.
That guy.
Yeah,
he's the glue. He's the captain. Literally the captain.
Literally the captain.
Literally the captain. Gardeck is your guy that's going to be on the edge, that's going to give you the blitz, who's coming off the line.
Yeah.
I think that third backer, they're going to mix in more. And there's an or on the depth chart, but I think Ventrell Miller, like last year when Foye was banged up and they were doing these rotations, I feel like every time Ventrell got on the field, I'm like, why don't we take him off? Like, leave him on there.
He was a game wrecker. He was a game wrecker.
He was
easily.
wrecking the game.
He was a game
The
wrecker.
biggest hitter on the team.
Absolutely.
He's out there taking care of play.
Outside of Trayvon.
Yeah.
So I think it says more about what they've got in Ventrell than maybe it says about Lloyd. You know what I mean? Like, I think Ventrell can be really good. And I've like from the second they drafted him, I know that regime thought they got a steal because he was dealing with the foot injury and stuff, so he didn't get a chance to run the 40. Like I've heard some crazy numbers that they thought if he ran the 40 he was supposed to run.
Really?
Like the description I kept being given was like, yeah, he's a linebacker, but he moves like a safety.
Really?
Like that's why they were so. And like if you watched him at Florida, don't get twisted. Like he was good.
He was good.
He was very good at Florida.
He was a monster.
I never thought he was that crazy of an athlete.
Same.
Watching him at Florida, but they were like locked in. They were like, no, this dude is different.
Yeah.
And he just was hurt.
Yeah.
So now he's healthy and he's making plays. And I think this says more about like he might be really good and we just don't know it yet than anything else. Because think about it, like he was one of the leaders of that defense last year, and the year before that he was hurt.
Mm-hmm. He's a little bit better in coverage too, in my opinion. He's a little quicker,
I think we have a great group. I think they're gonna, just like a lot of these other positions like we talked about, there's gonna be a solid, heavy rotation of these guys. Where they're all gonna play and all gonna contribute. I think one of the things that I love that you're excited about Ventrell, but the one things that I think that we're excited about collectively is the special teams.
Oh, come on now. 70 yards
should be the best in the league. Should be undoubtedly.
You got Pro Bowlers in the punting game. So you got Logan Cook. You got Cam Will in the kicking game.
Ross a Pro Bowler too.
Ross is G. But I think Rayon Lane and Gardeck and a lot of these guys in coverage.
Man,
it's very underrated because it's special teams and
people don't play the importance of it. Yeah.
If you win 2 out of the 3 phases of the game. You win the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think
Gardeck is going to punish somebody.
You're going to see us not only, you're going to see Cam Little knocking out, 60-yard kicks probably throughout the year. Logan Cook pinning people, but we're going to cover the ball, the punts, the kickoffs. And you're going to see, because think about the kickoff now. Yeah. That's a real play now. Yeah. It's not a touchback.
Yeah.
You can't afford to have a touchback. So they're going to see a lot of really good, I think, plays and coverage out of Rayon Lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even on the note of just like the special teams and everything, which I think all of us collectively agree, like even with Heath Farewell kind of like overseeing everything as a great special teams coordinator and kept him all the players. Of course, he's the only guy from that staff previously that I think really truly deserved to kind of not only translate what he had done previously, but now to kind of carry that over with these group of guys.
Agreed.
But I just kind of want to take that part of it and really start talking just very briefly about the AFC South. Sure. Just kind of talking about just what the Jaguars' realistic expectations are, especially competitively in the division. Because I think the path to success for Jacksonville this year is going to be winning the AFC South. Forget a wild card. You never know how things are going to shape up. But if you really want to punch your ticket, I think the expectation should be win the AFC South, be that number 1 seed in the division, and try to punch your ticket to the postseason. So kind of starting with Tennessee, who I would assume I'll expect to be one of the worst teams in the division, if not the worst teams.
4 or 5
quarterback, obviously the worst team in the NFL last year. How are we kind of feeling about Tennessee?
I love Cam Ward.
I do too.
I don't think he has anything to play with. I think they have a couple players. I think
he has a couple players.
He does.
He's got Pollard. He's got Ridley.
Yeah, Tyler
Lockett. Line, they did a lot. They've invested in the offensive line.
Tyler. How old is Tyler Lockett?
Oh, he's pretty old.
Collecting Social Security. What?
He has sure hands.
Y'all were like on Tyler Lockett.
About the sure hands that he may have.
Surely over the hill.
All right.
So, but yeah, he's not got a lot around him. I think Cam Ward's a really good talent. I think, unfortunately, Tennessee wish they had a quarterback so they could have taken Travis Hunter. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't think expectations should be that high this year for Tennessee. I think Cam Ward is going to have his ups and downs, just like Trevor Lawrence did in his rookie season. They have a decent amount of offensive weapons around him, obviously, notably with Ridley and Tony Pollard out of the backfield. They have invested in the offensive line, something that I will definitely give them credit for
100%
over the last couple of years. But inevitably, rookie quarterback, not that great of a supporting cast overall. I think that they kind of finished last in the division.
Yeah, I think that's easy.
I don't have them finish. I have another team.
Wow. Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's kind of then jump into the Indianapolis Colts. Another interesting team. We saw a couple weeks ago they obviously announced Daniel Jones as the starting quarterback for the team, not Anthony Richardson, which I think came as a surprise to many people, not just outside of Indianapolis. What do we think about this Colts team this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think that this is the team that's going to be finishing last. I mean, you go as far as your quarterback is going to go, and I just don't see between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, it's just kind of like, what are we picking here? Like, you know what I mean? At this point, it's kind of like a shrug, just like coin flip, whoever's going in, just go, and I think that that's how they I'm not saying that that's how they picked it, of course not, but I think that in terms of talent and in terms of arm strength and in terms of accuracy, the only difference is maybe one of them is a little bit more mobile than the other. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like
a lot more.
Yeah, a lot more. But like still, you know what I mean? Yeah. The only difference is Daniel Jones isn't going to check himself out. Like that's it. Like, you know what I mean?
That's wild too. But I mean, we can go around this way actually. Let's go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go this way.
I'm right there. Look, we've seen the Daniel Jones movie before. Like it doesn't end well.
Pretty.
It's not pretty. And I think Anthony Richardson, I hate that they're quitting on him.
Same.
But I think his biggest thing is that for a guy his size with his play style, like he's built like Cam Newton, but he can't stay healthy.
Sure.
So he can't play like Cam could.
Yeah.
Like he's not a tank that's just impenetrable.
Right.
So I think the Colts are going to struggle. I don't know about last in the division. I think the defense still has some talent. Exactly. I think they still have some pieces there that'll claw them to a couple of wins. And that coaching staff has kind of shown that they'll gut out 6 or 7.
I can see that. I
like Steichen.
Yeah.
I just think the Titans defense is a little bit more talented in my opinion.
I like the Colts defense a little bit more. I like Latu. I like Quiddy Pay. And
I like Jeffrey Simmons. I like Jeffrey Simmons.
I think both Indianapolis and Tennessee have a great group of veterans, defensively speaking. At least key players. Obviously Tennessee got Jarius Sneed and a handful of other guys. We've talked about Indianapolis just briefly, but I think that overall, like you said, the upside with a Daniel Jones, we've kind of seen how this movie's played out. Even if you throw Anthony Richardson out there, unfortunately, at least with Indianapolis, we've seen how the movie's played out. He can't stay upright, can't stay healthy.
Even with Florida.
But Florida.
Like, I'm not going around.
But it's like we've always banked on that upside. I'm just surprised that they're not willing to at least give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Until he proves otherwise.
Yeah, me too.
Because, he's still young. You still invested a top 5 pick into him a couple of seasons ago.
It's in his second year. Let him do his thing.
Yeah. I get it. They're probably trying to send... They're either trying to send him a message or there's something that's happening behind the scenes where they're like...
We don't know about.
They're like, look, we're...
So where do you see Indianapolis? I see him third.
It's one of the two.
I see him third.
I'm higher than most people in Indy. Not because of Daniel Jones. Let me just put that to the side. Okay. Look at the rest of the roster.
Jonathan Taylor.
They got some players actually. So now their offensive line used to be really good. They lost a little bit of players in the last couple of seasons, so they're not as good. But I think the surrounding cast isn't bad. This is one of the teams. If they got Kirk Cousins or something, I think they could be like make Jacksonville a little bit nervous. For either wild card or whatever. Fair. So and don't forget they were 8-9 last year. Yeah. We won 4 games. They won 8 games and almost made the playoffs. Yeah. So now their secondary was trash, but they got Travaris Ward. They got Cam Bynum from I think Minnesota. They just picked up Xavier Howard, who might be over the hill, but still got it.
But they have veterans there.
Yeah. Their front 7 is solid against the run. They might not have a big pass rush, but so the defense I think is a lot more improved, and that was their weakness last year.
Agreed.
Jonathan Taylor can run the ball on you.
Adonai Mitchell, can't forget about him.
So AD Mitchell,
Josh Downs, Pittman Jr. Like
I don't like Pittman, but
really,
wow. I'm not a fan.
I'm a big Josh Downs guy personally.
I like Josh Downs too. I love Josh Downs.
Alec Pierce. So they got a good core or like a shell of a team. Now, like most NFL teams, they need a quarterback to make sure make
it actually work.
So that's why I said I'd be careful I'd be very nervous if Kirk Cousins or somebody to that
like a veteran
came in.
I feel like we've been saying that about them for like the past 10 years. Though.
Phillip Rivers.
Because it was literally Phillip Rivers, Joe Flacco. But it has worked. Whenever they've gotten that fill-in guy, like the supporting staff was always good.
Joe Flacco got him to 8 wins.
Just get me there.
Yeah.
So, and I like Shane Steichen a lot. Chris Ballard's a good GM in my opinion.
He ain't got a quarterback though.
my problem with them is they have given up on AR way too early.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
But yeah,
I agree.
we can
Yeah,
cast-
well,
go
yeah, and just
through.
to briefly touch on the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets.
Houston-
I'm still in my NBA phase of my work. The Houston Texans, right? I know we briefly talked about them on the pod.
Yeah.
But let's just quickly hit on them. They should be, I think, for right now, AFC South, division favorites. CJ Stroud, this offensive line does not look too great, but defensively, they should be one of the best stout units out there. Flash, kind of, what do you think about this Texans team?
Man, they're probably going to be the biggest threat to us. If in my opinion, with just Will Anderson, Aziz, Daniel Hunter, like they have the pieces on defense to where it makes me a bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie to you. But their offensive line is still what it is. So I mean, for them to still have Cam Robinson is kind of laughable in my opinion. But still, you know what I mean. I think that we punish them on that front. But Joe Mixon being out week 3 is gonna be big for us.
Right.
But moving forward, I think that they're still going to be a top contender in our division. So respect.
Yeah, look, I think it should be between the Texans and the Jags ultimately, but their offensive line is a huge question mark. They got holes across it. I mean, Cam Robinson was competing for a starting job at the left tackle spot, and I mean, we saw how that matchup went with Josh Hines-Allen and him last year when he came back against Minnesota. And with Joe Mixon sideline, you're dependent on Nick Chubb, who I don't even know if he's
over the hill. He's over the hill.
I mean, and I loved Nick Chubb when he was healthy. Like coming out of Georgia, you come back from it in Cleveland, watching him tote the rock. I just don't know how much juice he's got left.
Yeah.
And like Damian Pierce fell off a cliff. Like his rookie year. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember when he came to Jacksonville.
He tore us up. Week 3, he was tearing us up.
And he ain't been the same since.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know if there's the weapons like CJ and Tank Dell were like there.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna have Tank Dell.
You're not gonna have Tank Dell when he's playing. Yeah.
Like maybe Christian Kirk. I'm really high on Jalen Noel.
Yes,
I think he's.
They brought him in this offseason. That was a good pickup.
That was a great pickup.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
I just don't know how much juice they're gonna have on offense if it's gonna be enough. But the defense should be good. That's what I think will get them there.
Yeah, no, me personally, I think the offensive line is going to be their Achilles heel the entire year. I think they swapped out Cam Robinson. This could be wrong, but swapped out Cam Robinson for
Ursi.
Yeah.
Did they? Okay.
They were fighting for the job, and I think they said Ursi was going to edge him out.
Dope.
But
Okay.
Regardless, it's going to be shaky, I think, in front of them. It's going to be a problem. They got weapons on the outside. I like Noel. I like Higgins. I like Nico Collins is a stud. They got great players on the outside. The line's gonna be really a problem. Defensively, they're gonna be good,
Of course.
but yeah,
Good defense.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we've kind of given our thoughts right there on the AFC South. Let's just quickly go through a quick schedule.
Sure.
Week 1 through 18, just kind of go through.
Sure.
Just give me win, loss. Don't have to be too long-winded. This is a lot of games. So
Okay.
we got first game of the season, though, versus Carolina. Go ahead. Hit me, Flash.
Dub.
Easy win.
Easy
I think
win.
we get the win, but it's not going to be an easy win.
Easy win.
I got like 27-21. I think they play pretty good, but end up coming out on top. Yeah.
All right. And also make sure you guys are keeping track of
Oh, hold on. Let me write mine down. Sorry. Let me write mine
All
down.
right. Week 2 at Cincinnati.
L.
Yeah, give me the L.
L.
In a shootout, like 31-28. We're gonna lose that game.
Yeah. One possession.
All right. Week 3 versus Houston.
Give me the win there.
Give me the win.
Yeah, revenge game. They're gonna win that game.
All right. Week 4 at San Francisco.
L.
You can drop it.
We're gonna drop that game. It's
Yeah.
belt to ass. That's San Francisco whooping our ass. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna play.
But chill though. Like don't just.
No, they're gonna whoop our ass that game. West Coast game.
Yeah.
We've seen this story before. Hopefully, it's not that story.
Yeah, we're not gonna play that.
I'm not trying to be pessimistic. All right. Week 5, Monday Night Football versus Kansas City.
We finally get the W on these fools at our home.
Nah.
Nope.
Give me the L.
Yep.
We play really good, and we lose.
Yeah.
All right. Week 6 versus Seattle.
I got the dub on that because they come here, right?
Yeah,
Come here.
yeah,
Week 6. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long flight. I got the dub on that.
Yeah, go ahead, give me that one.
Give me that W as well.
Yeah.
I'm really close between this and the Rams game coming up, so I'm gonna say they surprisingly lose this game.
Okay. The Seahawks are gonna be good.
Seahawks. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Week 7, home away from home in London versus the Rams.
We just don't lose in London, so I'm gonna keep that trend. I like us getting that dub.
Nah, give me the L.
Give me the L.
Really,
Give me the L.
really.
Yeah.
Statement game.
Oh.
Statement game.
Okay.
We're gonna win that game.
I think
it's
so,
gonna
too.
be a turning point in the season.
100%.
And then we get the bye week.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
So, on to the bye week. That's week 8. Week 9, we've got on the road at Las Vegas.
I think we come back and we lose in a shootout for that.
Really?
I do think we lose in a
Interesting.
shootout. in that.
Oh no, they beat old man Carroll and Gino.
I was about to say, Pete Carroll, I'm sorry, you're going to be.
I do think
let me not say that, but Pete Carroll's going to lose that game. Give me Jacksonville to win.
Yeah, we win.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Week 10 on the road at NRG Stadium versus the Texans.
I think that's the Texas game that we lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. I think
we split.
I think we split.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we split with them.
All right. Week 11 at home versus the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert comes back to Jacksonville after that 2022 playoff loss.
Belt the ass. Us.
2023, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me an L
Belt-
on that one.
Yeah. What?
L?
Yeah, give me an L
No,
on
that's
that
true.
one.
So you got the win,
I got
the
loss.
win.
John
got the win.
Harbaugh, much different team.
Yeah.
What did you have?
I got us winning that game.
I also have us winning that game.
Yeah.
But I think because the Rams game, we're gonna start building momentum.
Gotcha.
Right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Week 12 at Arizona.
Oh, we whooping ass. Yeah. We'll whoop.
I
we'll
think
whoop
I
them.
think we win that game.
Yeah.
We win that game.
Yeah.
They're better than you think.
Yeah.
All right. Week 13 at Nashville at Tennessee.
I like us to beat them.
Yeah.
At Tennessee.
I think we if we don't 2-0 Tennessee, that says
Yeah, that says something
Yeah.
about
We should
yeah.
sweep them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, week 14, other division rival at home versus the Colts.
They
Death
never win
taxes
here.
beating the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Or beating the Texans.
Beating the Texans
You're gonna-
at home.
I can't
Yeah,
beat the
yeah,
Colts
yeah.
at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Death taxes. Yeah,
This haze, this hazy eye.
This haze. That's too many. We got to start winning that game. All right,
Is out
week,
of the world.
week 15 at home again versus the New York Jets.
Belt to ass. I think we beating them
give me
too.
that one.
I think the
Yeah.
biggest blowout of the season.
Yeah.
Wow, blowout. Interesting.
Either
All
that or
right.
Tennessee, one of the two.
All right, this is going to be a tough one, though. Sunday, December 21st at Denver.
I think we lose that.
Yeah, no.
I think we
We're
lose that.
gonna. I think we're gonna get our asses whooped.
yeah.
actually.
Yeah. I think.
I think Sean Payton's gonna. Sean Payton's gonna be ready.
Denver's a hard place to win.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, last 2 weeks of the season. Both division rivals again on the road at Indianapolis.
Yep.
Yep. We win
Yep.
that
Win.
too.
When it's got to be a winnable game. Same
Yeah.
thing. Last time, week 18 versus the Tennessee
Titans.
Titans.
Sweep.
Got to win that game.
But that.
Brooms out.
Brooms
Got to
out.
bring the brooms.
Yeah.
Brooms
We
out.
should absolutely sweep the Titans, sweep the Colts, split with the Texans. That should be the standard.
Yeah.
5-1 in the division. Everything else from there,
Yeah.
you work your way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that should be the standard.
I'll have to double check and we'll
double check
look at
afterwards,
what our
though.
scores are afterwards. I think we're gonna have a really rough first half until
Yes.
Till that bye week.
Yeah.
Rams game. I
Right
think
around
it's gonna be a big time win for us. Bye week, we're gonna win stack a ton of games, and we're gonna go into the postseason. I
The playoff.
think
Yeah.
I think
There you go.
10-7.
Yep.
I could
10 and
be
7.
wrong. I think we're 10-7, which is crazy because I was floating 8-9 and 9-8 the whole offseason until right now. Maybe it's like, hey, we're gonna play real football soon, so maybe I'm just excited.
Yeah.
But I think
I had to sprinkle that delusion in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a
I had to
little bit.
sprinkle a little delusion in there, you know?
but it's the preseason. It's it's week one.
We're-
So let's
yeah.
let's excited.
I mean, look, the division's weak.
It is.
So I've been sitting at 10 wins for a little while just because I feel like you're going to get 5
You should
from
get
the
5,
division.
Yeah.
So you mean all I got to do is come up with 5 games the rest of the way? And I'm like,
Right.
all right.
And you play hard teams. I mean, tough teams.
NFC
early.
West is no joke.
No joke.
Absolutely not.
No
You know,
joke.
so I think that this team does have a ton of potential, like you said, just outside of those 5 division games that you theoretically should win, split with the Texans. You should be able to come out with at least 5 more games, minimum 4, but you should be able to
Yeah.
get 5 games and really be competing for that AFC South division title. So that's going to wrap it up for episode 2 of the Jungle Beat podcast. Jamal, we appreciate you once again.
Thank you.
for stopping in. For stopping in
Can
here
we
as
clap
well.
for him? Is that cool?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Jamal. Yeah, man. We appreciate you coming in.
Jumping on.
Yeah,
Is there
absolutely.
anything
So-
you want to plug? Anything? Where can they find you?
You can track me down on social media. Just look for J St Cyr, JSTCYR TV. Pretty much whatever social media platform you can holler at me there.
Go watch Teal the show.
Yeah, Teal the Show's on
watch
over on
Teal the
News for
Show,
Jax
man.
on Monday and Friday nights at 11:20. We put it online afterwards. Yeah, we'll be hanging out at the Slab before home games.
Yes, sir.
We will see you there.
All right, deal.
We got content coming for the Slab as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
There we go. Come on, look, I'm just excited for a fun season.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Knock on wood, we can get some playoff run in here.
Yes, sir.
Gotta go somewhere for that.
There was nothing like that night playoff game at the bank.
man,
So
that was
I
one of the
think
best
we need
nights
to
of my
run
life.
that one back. Come on.
Absolutely.
One more time.
I think all of us feel that way. So yeah, I want to thank you again, once again, Jamal. Let's give another round of applause for Jamal St. here.
Bro, thanks.
For being in here today, and that will wrap up episode 2 of the Jungle Beat podcast. Thank you once again for sticking around. You can follow us on all of our socials. The links to all of them will be in the description down below. Thank you again, and as always, we'll catch you in the next episode.
All right.
Go Jags.